by fraud and security consultant Richard Kumado. Mr. Kumado, thank you so much for your time this evening. This is a very tragic event that we've witnessed today. How did you receive the news today?
Mutala is a personal friend and a brother to me, so I'm very sad, and I'm sad for Omane Boamah as well. 2nd May, I spoke to Omane Boamah personally about some few things that needed to be done. So it hit me very hard, but considering the nature of the traveling and the likelihood of some of these things, I see it to be in line with the job they have assigned themselves. Other than that, death doesn't come easily to anybody. We are all sad. We are overwhelmed with this grief. Our condolences to their families, and we say, let a good Lord keep their souls until we meet again.
Mr. Kumado, please, I'd want to clarify this from you regards to the Z9 helicopter that we are experiencing currently with the crash. In June 2020, June 29, a airborne Z9 helicopter belonging to the Ghana Air Force made an emergency landing on 25th June, but none of the 8 persons on board were injured, meaning that for every Z9 helicopter takes a maximum of 8 persons, because also in March 19, 2024, which was last year, an emergency landing of the Ghana Air Force helicopter with registration number GHF 696 on Tuesday, March 19 at Bunsukrom in the Western region also landed and occurred as a result of bad weather conditions. What could we be doing rightly because of the helicopter experiences we are having? Because in 2020 we had same landing emergency landing process. In 2024 we just had one, and then unfortunately for this year it didn't go too well that it had to crash. What should we do regards to things like this?
No, in there are accidents that could happen. There are various things you'll be looking at for from the position of investigation. You are looking at aviation experts and you are looking at the military officers. They will investigate it or have a third party like the BNI to investigate, or the police to that matter. The fire service have a key role to play. But what will happen is these are accidents. You could take up and have crisis in the air and you land on emergency ticket, or you could be landing and you have emergency. It could be failure, mechanical failure, or it could be negligence, it could be human error, it could be carelessness, it could be anything. It could also be an attack, and it could be assassination, and it could be many of those ones. It's investigations that will reveal. But when it comes to the choppers, when they are flying with instruments, they go very high. But when it becomes manual, it is the pilot that determines how low they can go in the view area. Having said that, it's also important for public education for people to know that before the chopper takes off, there's a technical officer who must sign off. Sign off means they have checked everything and said it's travel worthiness or airworthiness. Then they give it a green light, then they take off. So this is the overview and a general terms for what we are talking about. How many choppers we have is another thing for another discussion. How many years they have spent with us is another thing for another discussion. What we need to also be looking at is our democracy and our governance system and our policies. From corporate governance best practices point of view, it is a well knowledge that same people performing the same function from the same group, from the same household, should not be allowed to travel on the same trip in a particular route, whether by air or by car. As to why you have a lot of them in the same flight is another discussion for another day.
Mr. Kumado, I just want to find out this also. Looking at the statement from the Ghana Air Force or Armed Forces, would you say that it's too early to give details of what exactly might
yeah, definitely. They are going to do the investigations, and that is why even somebody like me within the security intelligence environment who might have known more than the ordinary person, I'm hesitant to put it out there. It's always important to work with official statements, particularly when lives have been lost and there's a crash. So you can speak to what officialdom is talking about. and it makes life easier for everybody. But for public education and awareness creation, what we have said so far, that one is permitted within the environment.
I see. So you talked about the number of years that might have we might have used this chopper. You also talk about the fact that an inspection officer might have checked it and confirmed that it is traveling with. What might have caused a technical hitch to have crashed to the
Those ones happens without notice. It could be engine failure. If you go back to the history you gave, the 2020, it was a propeller. The 2024, it was something else. So it could be those faults could come any day, anytime, mid-air, high air. You are just about landing, you just take off. They happen just like the bigger ones. The small ones also face the same problem. It could also be negligence, it could be carelessness, it could be a pure accident, or it could be an error, or it could be an assassination, or it could be an attack. So these are the various frameworks or the circumstances under which you can have such a crash.
Earlier, you talk about policies. It clearly tell you that anytime there's a conversation about whether or not we should buy a different flight, you have political parties, divided because one will think about the cost involved in another thing. Do we need to know a number of years a flight might have been?
No, for the military, they have the data. It's just like your fire hydrant. They shouldn't stay with you more than 7 years. In times like this, you need your fire hydrant.
Yeah.
Ask how many years they have been with us. And when was the last time politicians bought a new one? And the distance between where the crash took place and where the nearest one was. Who made the call? How did they respond? So these are the things we need to look at. This, your democracy and politics and governance needed to be looked at again. The priority things we don't. And we keep on stealing money and committing fraud and all manner of things. We will die. We will die. We have to be serious. So those are some of the things. And fire people do not even have water. They don't have fuel. Such things like this. This is when you need them the most.
Yeah.
And we are talking about fire with helicopter, a fire with, vibrant hazard that can move at the top speed. Go and check how many years we have. So it's an eyesore, and it's an indictment on all the schools they have attended all over the world with the PhD and the doctorates and the masters and the first grade. It is not helping us as Africans. This is democracy, this is governance, and this is politics. We better do it right. Other than that, the vulnerabilities we are creating for ourselves is catching up with us. There's this other one I get so scared. And permit me 2 minutes to use your medium. Have you thought about it? The president will travel with a number of people within the core circle. When the president arrives at Kotoka, you will have Minister of Interior, Minister of Defense, Director of Operations at the presidency, Chief of Staff, Deputy Chief of Staff, the Vice President, almost everybody on the tarmac. Should something happen, we need to bring governance to a close. So we need to. Oh God, help me.
What? So this is a critical matter you've raised. Of course, I'm sure that large number of Ghanaians might have not even on that particular tangent that you are going. But on the other hand, there also the issue about maintenance system in the country. We failed as a country to be proactive.
But if you want black people to steal things, that one they will steal it. Politicians will steal it. If you ask them to maintain, they will not. And they will run it down so that they steal more money, thinking that they want to do it properly. That has been their modus of operandi for all these years. Guess what? Do we have a presidential jet? No. Do we have Ghana Airways? No. Look at the nature of your roads. Can they go by road? Can they go by train? You see, so you are neglecting the necessary things that holds you together as a nation. But when it comes to fraud and corruption and criminality, you will see politicians that I think to suggest that all of them must go and bath in the sea or wash their hands with salt water, so that those hands will stop destroying things and begin to build the society and the culture and the infrastructure that everybody needs, including the politicians themselves.
So when a known person died through road accident, the conversation spark on the maintenance of our roads, the discussion of our roads, how we should maintain our roads and all that. Now this is a very tragic one that has to do with air. What's your policy? Because earlier you talked about policy. What should be the policy framework?
No, we did a policy on
Fantastic.
VIP travel for our presidents and for VVIPs. Because you know the defense minister is ranked higher like the president.
Yeah.
The reason why he needs to be in the same chopper with those is ranked higher above is another question for another day. Then we understood from officialdom that it was the president to go and the president asked him to go. So he's representing the president in that capacity. Would the president go with the chopper? That is another question for another day. So these are the things we look out for, and I believe that the investigation will give us some answers to many of the questions we might be asking.
I see. Well, the investigation is yet to, well, I'm sure it has started already, but could this have been prevented, though we do not know the cause of the
now, if it's an accident, yeah, everything can be prevented and everything can happen. Within a split seconds, you are on, another minute, you are out. What are your precautionary measures? What are your safety measures? What are your emergency measures? Those in the aircraft, what is the standard protocol for them before they jump on? Do they know exactly what to do in times of crisis? All will be addressed through investigation. So we need to be patient a little bit, mourn a little bit, cry a little bit. After crying, let's wipe away our tears and begin to think and reason as proper people who must do something great for ourselves in this country.
Anyway, well, Mr. Kumado, thank you so much for your time this evening. So that's a fraud and security consultant, Mr. Richard Kumado. I've seen lots of messages coming through. Zita is also here. She gave us lots of reactions on social media, including notable persons. But quickly, Zita, let me do this one from the United Nations Ghana. It says that morning of Ghana Air Force helicopter tragedy. It is with profound sorrow that we received the tragic news of the fatal crash involving the Ghana Air Force Z9 helicopter, claiming the lives of distinguished governments of Ghana officials, including the Honorable Minister for Defense, Dr. Edward Kofi Omane Boamah, and the Honorable Minister for Environment, Science and Technology, Dr. Ibrahim Mutala Mohammed. The United Nations family in Ghana mourns with the nation in this moment of deep grief. We extend our heartfelt condolences to the bereaved families and to the governments and the people of Ghana as we together face this painful loss. This tragedy is not only a national wound but also a loss felt across the international community. We stand united at this time of mourning. We honor the memory of all those who have passed with hope for their lasting peace. So this is signed by Zia Chudero. She is the United Nations Residence Coordinator here in the country. These are notable persons, including large number of Ghanaians, have been reacting to this tragic event.